Editors of Smoking Glue Gun. We're hosting this reading tonight. We're a local magazine and press. So thanks for being here. Thanks Malvern for having us. We love you guys.
Yeah, do yourselves a favor and buy a lot of books tonight. The shelves on this side are poetry and that side is fiction. So
also stuff for
spend all
sale
your money.
from people involved in this event is on that table. And we'll tell you more about that later. But we'll go ahead and get started. We have 4 readers for you tonight. Taylor's going to introduce our first reader.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Our first reader tonight is Marlon Hedrick. He's a poet from the Saipan, and he's currently invested in reconfiguring the island as mainland. Check out the poems that we just published in Smoking Glue Gun. They're really, really awesome. Really excited. Thanks a lot, Marlon.
Hey everyone, thank you for coming. Originally I was just going to start, but I did really want to thank Taylor Jacob and Blake Lee for publishing me earlier this year, because Smoking Glue Gun is really awesome. And if you like the poems in that, you might not like what I have today, because I actually, have a bit of a theme. But sincerest thank yous to both of you, and I'll thank everyone else proper in a bit. Home, 7,000 miles away, where the ghosts of my ancestors lay. One day I'll be on a plane on the way back, but until then I gotta draw from my past. Yeah, draw from my past, but do I remember what you look like? Will I even see your resemblance? Will all the places I know be gone? Do my people even need me like I need them? What's the first thing I should do when I'm there? What's the move? Should I visit my old apartment out in Dan where it all started? Or go to Townhouse for the latest bargains? Should I see if the tether ball post is still there? Or go to the beach and chill there? Reminisce I used to live there. It's been too damn long since I've been there. Yeah, home, 7,000 miles away, where the ghosts of my ancestors lay. One day I'll be on a plane on the way back, but until then I gotta write about my past home. That's the theme of my poems today. It's home. I was born on the island of Saipan in 1992. 23 years ago, and Saipan is a little island near Guam that not many people have heard of. Matter of fact, if you look on a globe or a map, it might not even show up. And since I've moved to the US in 1998, I have actually never met anyone from my home. I've never met anyone from Saipan. I've been fortunate enough in the last year or so to meet people from Guam, which is near, and that's been a comfort, but there's still some solitude that comes with, as far as I know, being the only one in this land that I know of from Saipan. So that's kind of the theme and the preface for everything I've written today. I want to spend time with my home, even though I haven't been back. And I want to spend time with my home, even if it's been a long time. So this first poem is actually about a different island, but it's in the same island chain. The Northern Marianas Islands, and there's 3 inhabited islands, and there's Saipan, and there's Tinian, and there's Rota. And this island is smaller than Saipan. There's probably 2,000 people that live there. And you can probably walk the whole circumference in 2 hours. So I wrote this poem thinking about what it means to encompass your whole existence on such a small geographical space, right? For example, if I had never moved here to the US, my life would be encompassed on an island. My loves and my loss and my passion and my dreams, and my resistance and my self-determination all in the span of a very small piece of land, maybe from Malvern to downtown. So that's what this poem is about, and it's called Sand of My Skin. We walked our Tinyan entirety in the sand of a half-hour glass. Were we small? Before we could answer, the thought was swept away in Pacific waves. This next poem is actually just a love letter to where I'm from, Saipan, because in many ways, Saipan, I do consider it a beloved of mine. It's something I hold dearly close, and I have a lot of memories of being there. And I have a lot of love for Saipan, so this is called a love poem. Watching you erupt like Pinatubo, your back crescent like Lau Lau Bay. In heat, we baked together. We became flan, caramelized. You were chattering pen ink, heavy ink that doesn't flow, just slowly expands until coral. Yeah, I realized that most of my poems are like 15 to 30 words, so it's not really conducive to reading. But that's why I just really want to thank, again, Blakely, Taylor Jacob, Malvern, Stephanie, Brian, Travis, for letting me read, because it's really just something that I enjoy, and even if things are quite short. I also want to thank everyone that I invited to come out tonight, and I'll thank you personally later, but I really appreciate it. This next poem is actually a thinly veiled immigration story. In school, I was an Asian American Studies major, and I thought a lot about history. So maybe you'll get a bit of that in this. It's called Somewhere Sea, and it reads, I lost my dark in 1965, somewhere in the Pacific. My dark lingered there a while, an island, drifting. Eventually, my dark washed up, steadily ashore, like condensed milk, or basalt, whose dark is only glimpsed before a tsunami. Unfortunately, in the last month, I've had to go through experiencing the loss of my grandmother, as well as the loss of a friend of mine. And I'm in a puzzling position because my grandmother was 92 and my friend was 20, and that's extremes of a spectrum that's hard to reconcile. But my friend, Tasneem, she really supported my work and my poems and my music. Since I began, really. And I really wish that she were here. My grandmother, she's great. my favorite memory of her was actually in Manila in the Philippines, and she would catch dragonflies with her bare hands. And I suppose back then she was in her 60s or 70s, but she's quite spry. And from a standing position, she would just snatch them off the ground. That's really it. But I guess in some ways she was my first action star. You know. So this poem is for her. Actually, it's about her. That'll come into play later. It's untitled, but it's about her. You began whole like the sun, endless, shining gently for a lifetime, your lifetime, until suddenly split, a wind in two halves, a wind in two halves, you and I, as old as our oceans, you and I are as old as the oceans. And this last poem, because I'm too excited for Travis to read, is for my grandmother, because I know that she's listening. And it's called Mahal Kita. Ang araw sa iyo, ang buwan sa iyo, ang mahabundok sa iyo, ang mahakaragatan sa iyo, ang aking pag-ibig sa iyo. Mahal kita, Lola and Latricia. Thank you, that's my time.